This is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and today we are going to work on some stretch bracelets. Now these are the kind I call aroma bracelets because they have the black lava beads, which will accept an scent, either an essential oil or a perfume or whatever, if you dab it on with a cotton swab or a cotton ball, and then let it dry for a while, and it's really nice. I enjoy them anyway. So I'm going to turn down and I'm going to show you what we're going to do. I have some 1mm elasticity. I like 1mm because I do have some smaller sizes, but I like the 1mm because it is stronger, obviously, because it's thicker. So we're going to get out about, maybe 11 inches to a foot. I'm going to say a foot. We don't need that much. I like that much because I make a thicker knot, a specialized kind, and I really don't like it when the knot, I don't have enough room to make the knot. So I'd rather throw away some elasticity than have to have a really tiny bit to work with. So the first thing you want to do is stretch your elasticity 4 or 5 times, real good stretches. Not so much that you think it's going to break, but enough to get the stretch out of it. And I say that because when you're working with this, it will bag after a while if you don't stretch it first. So I'm going to put a bead stopper on one side. And then I'm going to devise my pattern up here. I haven't really decided on it. All I know for sure is we're going to put these 2 big guys and these larger washer spacers on either side of them. And I haven't even decided what size I want in between here. I may just go for a tiny one, a smaller one. Yeah, that looks good. So that's what we'll do. And of course, like I say, the big washers go on either side of these guys because they're big. And then we'll go with, I think, an 8. And we'll go to the smaller washer spacers for those. We probably don't even need any more larger ones, unless I decide I want them around my 10mm lava beads if I go for those, which I am going to. I'm going to put them in right now. So we need one of these here. And then we have the large one. And the large one over here. Then a couple more washers. And then we're going to go back to 8s again. And we may put in 2 8s here. Looks like I'm going to have to get some more 8s out, but that's all right. Then we'll go with a couple of the 6s. Maybe a 4. Another 6. Bing, bing. And maybe another 10. And then another 4. And let's see what size we end up there. So we'll push these aside for right now, and if we need to get some more beads out, of course we will. And this is going to be where our knot's going to be. It's a large hole bead, so you can see in there. And so I'm going to put that one on first. Though you know what? I'm not. I'm going to start here in the middle area, and that way we can have more of an idea of how long we're going to get. And I'll probably only do to about right here, and then I'll switch and go back and work on the other side. Now these crackle agates here were from Bargain Bead Box, the Falling Leaves collection. Now I've got partially done here, so I'm going to switch my bead stopper to the other side, let these slide down here, and we're going to put this much back on again, and we'll see how long we are. I know it's probably not long enough, but we'll want to see. Where are you, hole? That's one problem with working with lava stones, because they have so many natural holes that you have to search to find the hole that you're trying to put your line through. Now see, I know that's only about 5 or 6 inches. Oh, it's not even quite 5. So we definitely going to need all these extra beads I have laid out here. And we may need to add some more yet. So let's put these on this, finish this side up with these beads, and then we'll switch to the other side, see how we're doing, and see how many more beads we need to add. Because it's a given, I'm pretty sure that we're going to have to add some. Especially since I have got some larger beads in here, and the larger beads take up a lot of room in the middle of your bracelet. I'm not going to put this tiny one on yet. I think we'll go for a 6 instead. Now we'll switch sides again. Over there. And get the rest of this on here. Let's see, we want spacer 6. Spacer 4, spacer 6 again. Oops, where are we at here? Let's see. 6, small 6, that would be this guy. And then we want our 10, and we want to switch this this little 4 for another 6. Now we need to put another bead stopper on this side, as we're getting down to the nitty-gritty as far as wire is concerned. I mean the cord, so we probably are close to our size now. So I will check that now again. Okie dokie. So now it says we're at 8 inches, which is good. However, we may not really be at 8. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our end piece on here. And then we're going to tie tie it and try and hold it here so it's tight. And then we're going to get our bracelet sizer out and see where it falls down to. It says 7 1/4. How about that? Bigger than I thought. So I'm going to take these last 2 6s back out. And we're going to put the 4s on again instead, like we originally planned. That'll take off some of that little bit of wire that I put there. So you can go over here then. Bing. Bring this guy off. And put the 6 on again. I mean the 4, sorry. It was the 6 we took off. Now, as you can see, I don't really have as much a cord as I like to have. So we want to stretch it again a couple times. And then we're going to tie our knot. To tie our knot, we want to take these 2 strands, wrap them around 2 fingers, bring them through where the 2 fingers join right here, both strands. Then we're going to do that a second time. Now we're going to work our fingers back out, especially this one. Go, baby. Now tighten her back up. Now as you bring your finger out, you need to keep pressure on the knot so that it doesn't bag. You want it way up here. See, there we go. And we'll give it a stretch or 2 to tighten the knot, which weirdly enough, this knot tightens when you stretch it, as opposed to getting looser, like a lot of them do. So we're going to cut these off. We're going to leave just a little bit. See, I've left about 1/8 of an inch. Bing. And there's our wire, our cord that was left. Now we're going to get our GS Hypo cement. Now this is the only thing I actually use GS Hypo cement for is stretch bracelets. It's a really flexible little glue, and truthfully, I'm not really sure how strong it is. And like I said, I've never used it for anything else besides these. Never had a desire to. And but this works great for a stretch bracelet. I will tell you though, do not use super glue on your stretch bracelets. It dries too hard and it freezes the cord up and then it easily breaks. So, oops, got that through a bit too much. It's not showing on the other side there. And there we go. There's our first bracelet all done. And I think we're going to make at least one more. So there we go. Isn't that pretty? So we're going to set this aside to dry. And we're going to get out some more beads. Maybe even some more spacers. Yeah, I'm going to need more spacers. So we are going to get some different spacers out. We're going to make this one with Unikite. So get the Unikite out here. Like I say, I'm going to want some more spacers. I don't need more big ones, I don't think, but I do need more small ones. Since I don't have any more antique silver ones, I am going to switch to bright silver instead. We'll put these 8 back in here. Drop some of these out. Probably more than enough. And then we will get out some more lava beads, since we definitely need more of those. I think I'm going to go the opposite way this time and go with a big one in the middle here. Then maybe one of the 4s in between these two so that we have all 4 Unikites up front. That's the way I like to do it. Then we will switch to the 6s, and then to an 8. You know what? I'm not going to go with the 8 yet. I think I'm going to put another 10 in here. The 8. Six, 6, 8, 8, second 8. Ooh, that one's weird. Let's put that aside. And another 6. And we'll drop a couple 4s out here just in case I want to put some 4s in there. Though mainly, well, we'll put out a couple of each size. Better to have them out here and not need them than not have them out here. Here we go. I don't think I want any more 10s, so I won't bother dropping any of those out. So what we're going to work on is we're going to get our cord out, of course. And we're going to string these up like I've got them sitting here with the small washers between. Except for I think I'm going to put large washers on either side of this guy. So let's get some cord. So we'll want to get pretty good length of cord. I usually don't measure it. I know that I want probably close to this much, so just cut it off. Cuts quite easily with a pair of scissors. You don't need cutters for these. Then again, of course, you want to stretch. Quite a few stretches. And there we are. We'll put our bead stopper on the one side. And again, I'm going to start here in the middle. Though, you know, I don't know why I do that, because if I take them off, I'll take them off from either side. So, now, as I said, this is a unikite. It came out of one of my bargain bead boxes, but I can't remember which one. I'm thinking maybe falling leaves. I'm not sure. I can't recall. Oop, forgot my spacer there. That's not good. You know, I think I'm going to use the large spacers on either side of these 10s. Have them out here, I might as well. So let's stop right here and we'll go back over to the other side to work. So it's the unikite, small spacer, teeny tiny guy, Oh, we decided to go with the big ones on this big guy, didn't we? Now let's put the bead stopper on and give this a measure. And it's about 5.5. So we want about another 2.5 inches, 2 inches. So let's put these beads on and we should be there. I actually suspect we may be taking a couple of beads off. But that's all right. Now we'll go and hook this back up and go back over to the other side and get the last few beads there and our big bead and see how big we are. Definitely think we're probably going to be too big, but let's find out. So there is our strand. It is, oh, it's about 8 inches. That might be right. Let's tie a knot in it and get our spacer, our sizer out and see what happens. Well, not a knot. We're just going to tie over, put a little overhand there. Keep our strings good and flush. Get our sizer out. Drop it down on here while we're holding on to it. And it looks like it's right where we want it, at 7. I like 7. I sometimes go a little bigger. I sometimes go a little smaller. It all depends on how the beads want to fall out for me. I don't like to go really big unless I'm definitely making it for a man, and they have tend to have a slightly larger wrist than a woman. So actually, let's make this a little teeny bit bigger. Put a spacer on, and we'll put a 4 on here. And then we'll do the same for the other side. Being careful not to drop these off since I now don't have my bead stoppers on. And now we're going to take hold of both lines and we're going to stretch. And now it's time to do our knot. So here we go. I got more line this time, so it's going to be a little simpler. Through and through. Now, did you see how I did that? Again, we want bring it around 2 fingers, bring the line back up, go through with both lines between the 2 fingers once, bring it around, do it a second time. And now we want to take our first finger off, and while we're pulling this, because we want it to stay good and tight, we want to get our other finger out and pull. There we go. And she's in there pretty good, it looks like. Now we're going to do a couple of pulls and to tighten our knot, and then we'll cut the excess off right here. Throw that away. Get our Hypo cement out for this knot. move out of the way, dear. Just put it a little bit here and there on your knot, just to firm it up. This also helps the knot stay inside the your large hole bead. So now you want to push it into your large hole bead. Looks like it's in. And there is our second one, all done. So here's one with the agate, and here's one with the unakite. See, even using all our beads, mainly black and then just some colors, you can make such a difference. So there's two, and let's go ahead and make a third. Third one, I've brought out daisy spacers, and we're using some matte carnelian, another one from our you know, I think all of these beads might have been from our Falling Leaves kit. I'm not sure. But this is our large hole bead one this time. We're going to use, as I said, daisy spacers. I'm going to put 6s between these guys. And then I think I'll put 6s on the other side as well. And we'll go to 8s. And we need some more beads, of course, so let's get those out. I think we'll put 110 on either side here. And then a couple 8s again. Of 6s. And then we'll see how long we are. In the meantime, I'll put a couple more 8s out and a couple more 6s in case we need them more for the length. So that should be enough. So let's get our cord out again. Here it is. Just get a length of cord and cut that off with your scissors. And then we'll want to stretch this baby out 3-4 times. Put a bead stopper on. And this time I think I'm just going to start from this end, because as we go along, if I have not enough, we'll add it to both sides. If I have too much, we will simply take some off of one end. Well, both ends. We want it to be even. So let's just go up the line here. Like I say, I've switched to daisy spacers for this particular piece because I think, well, I just wanted the daisies, a different spacer for this time around. And as you can see, I'm switching off between smaller and larger daisy spacers. Now, you don't have to use spacers. You can use multiple spacers instead of just one. This is a personal option, obviously. Use any kind of spacer you want. It doesn't have to be washers or daisies. It could even be ball spacers. I have used ball spacers on these before. So Don't know if I said these are matte carnelian. That one's little hole didn't want to be found. I put out a whole bunch of smaller daisy spacers, and I'm using the larger ones more. I'm probably going to need some more of the larger ones. But that's all right because I know where they're at. Not that one. Yes, it was that one I wanted. Oh, I think I am going to have enough. So now we just have these, put these other two little ones on here. Oh, we want the little ones for these, by these. And then we can measure it. Well, we'll put the large hole bead on as well, so that we can get a true measurement of how long it is. So here we go. Put our bead stopper on, slide her down, and we'll get our ruler out. So it's about 8 inches. So now we're going to tie this up together, put it on our sizer so we can see about how long it really is going to be. There's our sizer, and it drops down to about 7 right there. So that's good. So what we're going to do is now tie our knot. So want to take out the little bit of a knot that's in there. So let's pull that off. Then we'll bring our cords together and do our stretches. And now we're going to tie our knot, just like we did the other one. Take 2 fingers, wrap the strings all the way around, push through once, both threads, not just one. Okay. And bring them around, push them through again, both threads through twice. Bring your first finger out, tighten it up, bring it out as you yank so that it's tight. There we go. Now we want to cut the extra threads off after we give it a couple of pulls. Cut a little thread off. Now this time I had quite a bit of extra, but better extra than not enough. That's my motto. Now we'll glue our knot again. Put our cap back on quickly. And then bring our knot into this little large hole bead. And there is our third one all finished. So that's 1, 2, 3 stretch aroma bracelets. And I believe, like I said, unless the Unikite's out of another different box, which it could be, I believe these 2 are out of Falling Leaves, though, of Bargain Bead Box. So there are our 3 bracelets. Okay, there are our 3 what I call aroma stretch bracelets due to the fact that they are on lava stone. Now you don't have to use lava stone with these. You could use any kind of stone. I mean, it's a stretch bracelet. It's a stretch bracelet. All stretch bracelets are made this same way. As I said, I have always found that the knot that I just showed you is the strongest. I've tried using regular overhand knots. What happens? The knot pulls out. As soon as you tighten it, it pulls out. Whereas these are specifically, this knot is specifically made for a stretch bracelet. And it actually tightens every time you pull instead of loosening. So that's good. So yeah, these are fun. I really like them. I usually only wear stretch bracelets, though I really don't make that many of them. When I do make them, it's usually this style, and they're a lot of fun. But I always try to remember that every time you make one of these, it's on a giant rubber band. And sooner or later, that rubber band's going to snap. So, though I generally tell my customers, if they buy one of them, if they manage to salvage all the beads when they break, to bring it back to me. Bring all the beads back to me, and I will restring it for $1. If I have to add beads because they've lost some, it costs a bit more. But I figure it's good for customer relations if they can bring it back to you. But anyway, there are those 3 Aroma Therapy stretch bracelets. Aren't those pretty? But as you can see, mine is a stretch bracelet too. We'll talk to you later. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden. And we've been making aromatherapy bracelets using beads, lava stones from my cache, and beads from Bargain Bead Box for the gemstones. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.